here, like what they have done in the Pahalgam. So that's why highlight has been sounded in that area.
All right. In fact, more breaking news now coming in this hour. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has spoken on the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan. She has stated that US President Donald Trump has urged a quick de-escalation between the two countries. Let's listen in to what she had to say.
I absolutely can. This is something that the Secretary of State and, of course, now our National Security Advisor as well, Marco Rubio, has been very much involved in. The President has expressed he wants to see this de-escalate as quickly as possible. He understands these are two countries that have been at odds with one another for decades, long before President Trump was here in the Oval Office. However, he has good relationships with the leaders of both countries, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, I spoke to him just yesterday. He has been in constant communication with the leaders of both countries trying to bring this conflict to an end. I absolutely can. This is something that the Secretary of State and, of course, now our National Security Advisor as well, Marco Rubio, has been very much involved in. The President has expressed he wants to see this de-escalate as quickly as possible. He understands these are two countries that have been at odds with one another for decades, long before President Trump was here in the Oval Office. However, he has good relationships with the leaders of both countries, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, I spoke to him just yesterday. He has been in constant communication with the leaders of both countries trying to bring this conflict to an end. I absolutely can.
Brian Thomas is joining us for more details on this story. Brian, what can be read into this latest statement by the United States of America?
Clearly, Uday, now, as per this latest statement by White House, it clearly stated that the president itself, Donald Trump, wants to see it de-escalate as quickly as possible, and even said that the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is also in constant communication with the leaders of the two countries trying to bring the conflict to an end. And all the leaders, most of the leaders, most of the senior leaders in the US itself were saying many different things, where Donald Trump clearly stated that he expressed a strong desire for the swift de-escalation of the conflict. Marco Rubio said that he has been actively engaged in diplomatic efforts, maintaining continuous communication. On the other hand, J.D. Vance has also said that it is fundamentally none of their business, or said that the stance of non-intervention in the U.S. rather has a stance of non-intervention in the India-Pakistan conflict itself. And now also it has been stated that the president itself, Donald Trump, has not clearly even directly spoken with the leaders of both India and Pakistan, and says that if and when that happens, they will certainly let the press, the press know about it, and which was also stated by White House itself. But clearly, President Donald Trump had said that they want to de-escalate the situation. But on the other hand, J.D. Vance also yesterday stated that it is fundamentally none of their business, and also gave a stance, rather the U.S. stance of non-intervention in the conflict itself for that.
Major General Shashi Estana, defense analyst, is joining us on this big story. Major General Estana, the United States of America saying that Donald Trump wants de-escalation as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio in touch with the foreign ministers of both sides, is what Caroline Leavitt, the spokesperson of the US State Department, has said.
Firstly, Donald Trump till now have never wanted a de-escalation in Gaza. I don't see any reason why he should be looking at de-escalation here. That's one part of it. As far as, obviously, they have some axe to grind. IMF loan being sanctioned for Pakistan. They know that the strategic space of Pakistan is important if they want to tackle Iran. They know that in case they want to deal with Al-Qaeda, there is a carrot hanging of Pakistan army helping them out. So therefore, I think they would choose not to get involved and start giving lectures. But as far as India is concerned, we are a strong country, and we have to realize one and behave like one. I don't think we need any endorsement, and we should not be looking for any endorsement. We should not be looking for as to who said what. The question is, there is a live situation with us. They have started this on 22nd of April by killing innocent tourists. And hereafter, yes, after that, we did launch a very good strike and destroyed 9 terror camps and killed a number of terrorists as well. But thereafter, I think the rules are of the game are changing. The fact is, there is firing going on. We have lost about 16, 17 civilians and a couple of servicemen as well. So this can't go unpunished. And therefore, I am sure that the government of India, the military and the agencies would be planning something and should be planning something if they are not. But certainly,
Okay.
I am very sure that they would be doing something.
Okay. Meanwhile, Marco Rubio, in touch with the foreign ministers of India and Pakistan, how should we view this? Sanjiv Shivasav, international affairs expert.
I think America is clearly in touch with both India and Pakistan through back channel, though they have not said much about what kind of conversations they have had thus far. But there's no doubt that Marco Rubio is in touch with our establishment and our Pakistani establishment too. So I think United States of America's statement regarding the current situation is, in my assessment, is a significant remark. And President Trump himself is taking interest in to see that how this entire situation gets de-escalated. But having said that, I would say that if United States of America is serious about dealing with this entire situation in a significant way, then they should also consider the India's imperative to impose cost on Pakistan for what they have done against us in Pahalgam and thereafter. And still they are continuing the same kind of things for last 3 days. And if the things and the actions which Pakistani side is taking, it continues happening like this, then we will have to step up our responses, and that will further escalate the situation, and that will be very, very consequential and serious consequences will Pakistan will have to face in that case scenario. So I think if United States of America is serious enough about this entire situation, then they must, approach the Pakistani leadership and obviously the real rulers of Pakistan, the army and General Munir, and ask them to not to go ahead on any escalatory ladder anymore, because if they do that, then the entire situation might go further up, and India will very much, and I'm sure about, and this is a new India, and this India will not tolerate this kind of a nonsensical behavior and this kind of dastardly acts against us, be it in Pahalgam or thereafter, and we will respond accordingly, as our Foreign Secretary Sri Vikram Misri has repeatedly said in the 3 press conferences which he has had, that our responses will be based on the responses which Pakistani will show, and we will obviously impose cost on whatever the conspiracies and challenges they are posing to us, and we are not going to tolerate this. So I think this new India has a different approach,
Yes.
a very robust approach with regard to our national security and to deal with the challenges like terrorism. And we are very clear, and I'm very glad to say that thus far we have done so well after Pahalgam in responding this entire situation. And whatever the requirement will come up to us to have a further greater responses, if the efforts arise to step up our responses, India will certainly do it.
All right.
But again, I will say the United States of America must pursue the leaders of Pakistan and tell them not to de-escalate the way America had done to Nawaz Sharif when Nawaz Sharif had exposed Bill Clinton and Bill Clinton during the Kargil time, and Pakistan had no other option but to withdraw the troops.
Okay.
From
More breaking news. Meanwhile,